speeches that involve judges and courts, that's where it lies. You know, way back March 4th, 1789, when our Constitution was set up, that was the protection for each citizen. Hey, somebody's mistreating me, so I get a day in court for that court to protect me. Let me just tell you this. We have, look this up. In Texas, we have 527 district courts for civil and criminal cases. That's a lot. We have 14 state courts of appeal. I happen to know the people on the 5th Court of Appeal that's up in Dallas, and I just love so many of them. They are just like you and me, just like you and me, and they have the same values. Across the state, we have many of our people who are on the state courts of appeal that are very genuine, traditional Texans who believe like you and I do. Then we have the Texas Supreme Court, of which our governor was a part of that Supreme Court, and we have the Texas Criminal Court for appeals. Now, all of those are available to every single one of you who is a Texan. In addition to that, across the United States, we have 94 district courts. We have 13 U.S. Courts of Appeal, and we have the United States Supreme Court. So, nationally, we're protected. And if somebody violates one of your federal rights, you can go to one of those courts to be. So we have this court system that's set up. Now, not every judge on every one of those courts is going to be like you and me, but many of them are. And we praise the Lord for that. We need to pray for them, and we need to vote for them. Yes? Yes. All the way down the ticket. We suffer when people just vote for the top part of the ticket and don't vote all the way to the bottom. And it's easy to know what those judges stand for. In addition to that, we have a Miranda warning. You've all seen it. You watch Law and Order. You know this. You know that you have the right to an attorney, and if you can't afford one will be provided for you. Now, those are criminal cases, and there are sometimes when you might need to avail yourself. That would never, but if it is, it's there for you. Now, you say, well, civil cases, that's different. I don't get a free attorney. Well, that's true, you don't. But in many organizations, in many state bar associations, in many county bar associations, there are people, many attorneys who will do pro bono work. So if someone is really being mistreated and they can call their local bar association, there are pro bono attorneys around who will come and help you in defense. I wanted to tell you all that because I want you to know that in Texas and across the United States, we don't need to be afraid if we have a problem that we have. Or let me tell you this, if you have a neighbor or a friend or a work associate who has a problem, there is help for those. Now, we have found that in the United States, we have a segment of population, some people who have foreign background. And because of that, they have some foreign things in it that kind of curtail them. And we want to make sure that when they're United States citizens, when they're Texas citizens, they don't have to be afraid. If someone comes against them in any way, they have a court. So HB, and in your folder, you have this little paper from CWA. HB 562 is kind of, I think they're calling it a cleanup bill. And what it's doing is just trying to give judges a stronger tool to deal with people who have these kinds of problems. And so let me just read this little thing to you. HB 562 amends the Texas Family Code governing marriage relationships and parent-child relationships to ensure that court rulings which apply foreign law do not infringe upon or place an undue burden upon our fundamental constitutional rights. American law for American courts, ALAC, is designed as a tool to provide clear guidance for judges and courts during family law proceedings that involve the application of foreign law. This legislation does not single out or target a specific religion or nationality. Rather, it's designed to simply protect and uphold the Texas and the U.S. Constitution. Now here are two specific provisions of the bill. Now the bill is a two-pager, and you're free to go online and read that, but let me just show you these two provisions that are in this bill. Under the choice of foreign law, section 1A, 003, choice of foreign law for form and a contract, listen to this, a contract provision involving the marriage relationship, providing that a foreign law is to govern a dispute under the contract, is void to the extent that the application of foreign law to the dispute would violate a fundamental guaranteed right by the United States Constitution or the Constitution of this state. Okay, under section 112, 003, it says this, a contract provision involving the parent-child relationship. These are marriage, this is being in the divorce situation, the first one in the divorce situation, the second, of course, and many families are finding themselves in this very difficult situation. A contract provision involving the parent-child relationship, providing that a foreign law is to govern a dispute arising under the contract, is void to the extent that the application of the foreign law to the dispute arising under this contract is void to the extent that the application of the foreign law to the dispute would violate a fundamental right guaranteed by the United States government or the Constitution of this state. Representative Leach, Representative James White, Representative Dwayne Bohock, Representative Andrew Muir, Representative Jody Laubenberg are the authors of this bill. And we appreciate their work on this bill. So when you are free this afternoon to go and speak with your legislators, here's what you do. You go into their office and you ask to speak to their legislative director, or perhaps your representative will be there. Many told me last night, hey, tell them to come see me. So go to your office and see if your representative or your senator is in. They're waiting. They know we're coming today. So go and tell them, look, HB 562 is there to uphold the Texas Constitution and the United States Constitution to protect people in these difficult family situations. Would you please sign on to the bill as a co-author on that bill? Would you do that? And then when it comes to the floor, would you support it? That's what you need to do. Very, very simple. Just go to their office and ask them to help get this bill passed. Thank you.